What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Lady Scrap. You know your favorite Damu from the West Side Fruits. And we got an OG in the building, triple OG. I don't know if it's quadruple OG or what. I might be putting too much on it.
Just from the 70s. Just from the 70s.
Oh, okay. And he's a Crip, you know. Just to throw that out there. He's with the handicap sign, you know. The marathon continues. You feel me? The marathon continues. So, sir, where you born and raised?
Los Angeles, 74th in Normandy, right down the street from Florence in Normandy. 54 years since 1966.
Really?
From the beginning.
From the beginning. So 74th in Normandy, some would associate that with what gang?
The 83rd Street.
Ooh.
Gangsta Crips.
And not the 7-4 Hoovers?
Not the 7-4 Hoovers.
And why is that?
7-4 was down the street a little bit toward Vermont.
Okay.
Normandy kept it all H-Ray gangster.
Okay.
But they were our best friends, 7-4 Hoovers, and still today.
What?
Best friends.
All right.
Tookie and Gooch, best friends.
What?
Set founders.
Not the founders.
The founders.
They the founders, though. Okay, I didn't know that. Of A-Tray, right?
A-Tray and 7-4 Hoover.
Oh, okay.
Gooch just come home after doing 40 years. And Tookie died in jail on death row.
Right.
But we still leave the homie Chico on death row, which they just moved him from death row to life. He got a life sentence, took him off of death row for some murder shit happened years ago. Now he's just serving a life sentence. But he was in there with Tookie at one time,
okay.
Two of the homies on death row. Got a few of the homies on death row from 83rd Street.
I bet we all do. Shout out to Chico. What was it like growing up in that area in the 70s, 80s? You know, what was it like?
It was boxing every day, playing sports, hanging out with Sam Watson, boxing with the crew every day. Football, Sam Watson. Basketball, Sam Watson. Baseball, everybody from the set came from the set, had to go through Sam Watson. He was just like a physical education teacher, PE teacher. Now he became boxing promoter. But he kept niggas in line, kept us all boxing, kept us boxing.
What's the most traumatic thing you seen as a child?
The most? Probably gonna be my uncle on Sherm, run over his girlfriend. That was mine. His uncle liked that Sherm. He liked to get loaded. He liked to run them bitches over when he got loaded. Running them over. That was about the worst thing that I've ever seen. Besides, one of the homies laying on the ground dead. They thought it was Chico, but it happened to be one of the homies from 7-4 when I was like 11, 12. First time ever seeing a dead nigga on the street.
Oh, wow.
It was Psycho from 7-4 Hoover, but him and Chico were both light-skinned niggas. This was in the 70s. I was only 11 years old, and the police called me, Crazy TT, Big Tilton, to come identify the body.
Not to identify at 11?
At 11 years old.
Jesus.
And it happened to be Psycho from 7-4 Hoover. I don't know why they picked me and Crazy T. Crazy TT was an OG at the time. I was just a baby on the set, new. I don't know why they picked me out at 11. I don't know why they picked me out to come identify the body. It was one of them days we got ready for school, ironing our clothes and shit. Then we got a phone call, something happened. So the shit I was ironing for school, I just threw it on. And we always straight G'd up at school, penalty, khaki suits and shit. So I just threw the shit on and ran to the scene of the crime. And all the homies was out there. And the police called me and Crazy TT out. Crazy TT is serving life. Not on death row, but he's serving life named Tilton.
Okay.
He
shout out to Crazy.
He ended up going out to the 20s and shit. He ended up changing around a little bit, but he still in San Quentin. But one of the homies was down at the time.
Okay. Do your parents gang bang? Did they gang bang?
My father was a down nigga. He was a little nigga, but he was down. But he never did a gang bang because he come from Alabama. But he didn't know much about gang banging. He just didn't believe in letting niggas take nothing from you and shit.
Okay.
Somebody hit you, you hit them back. And give a fuck how bad you get your ass whooped, you hit that nigga back.
Right, yeah, morals.
And that's how we grew up.
We as in brothers and sisters?
We as in homeboys.
Okay.
We as in homeboys. I only had this one sister, and I didn't have no brothers. I was the only nigga on the street with no brothers and shit, so I stayed fighting all the time. But like I say, as long as you hit back, you was cool. You didn't hit back, then you was a punk. You got punked every day.
Right,
you
that's
hit back,
still to this day. Yeah,
it's still the same thing. You hit back, you okay. You don't hit back, then nigga, you getting your money took, shoes, and all this shit.
How do you feel about bigs, littles, babies, tinies, having that aspect within the gang?
It's all good if you stay down to that. You get up under a nigga's name, you represent his name, you got to represent his name to the fullest. Some niggas do and some niggas don't, but you got to represent that to the fullest. or you find yourself getting kicked off the set.
Do you have any children?
I got 3.
Do they gangbang?
They don't gangbang. They think they bad, but they don't gangbang. They're not from the set. They wanted to be, and they didn't find out this shit wasn't no joke. It just looked pretty, but it wasn't nothing nice.
Oh, they really tried.
They tried. They ended up skateboarding and shit and smoking meth and doing other shit like crystal and shit. And
they went that route.
Skateboarding and shit instead of A-Tray Gangster.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, wait a minute. Do you feel like the skateboarding was a bad influence? You would have rather them been from A-Tray?
I'm glad they didn't gang bang. I didn't want to see none of them get killed.
Okay.
Gang banging in the streets. But that skateboard shit got him fucking with the white boys and the speed and crystal and all that other shit.
That was that influence.
Dude, yeah, he did worse than crack cocaine and shit.
What?
He got off being a basehead and shit. He ended up fucking with that meth and it fucked him up.
He all right now?
He's fucked up still. Meth fucks you up for life. Yeah, he's fucked up.
That's true. That's a real true statement for real. It really does. That's a cold demon right there.
He's fucked up.
Jesus. Do you feel like it's possible to leave a gang?
You can never get out of a gang.
You can never get out?
Never get out.
Why is that?
Once you in for life. You die out. Some niggas get put off the set, but you still from that gang. You might get put off the set, but you go somewhere, nigga, you still from that set.
Right.
You just ain't from the set. The enemy's still your enemy, though.
Exactly.
You just ain't got your homeboys no more. But you got your enemies.
Right. Forever.
Forever.
Can you name something positive about gangbanging?
Builds your character. Makes you appreciate shit. Because when you're sitting up somewhere, you don't have what you used to having, or you can't fuck with your family or your loved ones, it teaches you a little respect. Teaches you a whole lot of respect about shit. When to talk, when to shut up, when to walk, when to run. So it teaches a lot of respect, a lot of discipline in gangbanging. A lot of discipline.
Would you compare it to like the military armed forces type?
Same thing.
Would you compare it to a fraternity?
Not quite a fraternity because a lot of fun and games and fraternities, but military is more serious, more combative. Gangbanging is more combative. You got the combat shit in gangbanging. And the physical part of gangbanging, that's what you got. That's pretty much the only difference. Physical part and the combative part and your discipline part. The gang members are very disciplined, the real ones. The other ones are punks, get loaded and snatch purses and shit. And you got some that just kill.
Okay. Everybody ain't the same.
Everybody's not the same. Like you got a boss and you got a supervisor and you got employees. You got custodians.
Right.
Everybody not on the same level.
When you said sitting up somewhere, I take it you've been incarcerated?
Yeah. Been arrested a couple times. Biggest time I did was 3 years for drug trafficking out of town when I was young, fucking with Freeway Rick and him out in Georgia.
Not with Freeway?
Got caught with some birds and had to go out of town and spend some money, come home, and been pretty much straight ever since. I ain't been crazy about no money ever since. Money don't mean shit no more.
Okay, that's what you realize.
You got to have some, but realize it ain't worth going all out of town and taking penitentiary chances and all on airplanes and shit and don't know what the fuck gonna come out of this day.
Right. You still eat spreads to this day?
Huh?
Do you still eat spreads to this day?
Oh, no, I don't fuck with no spread.
You ain't fucking with no spreads on the streets?
No, I'm on the street. I'm gonna give me some ribs and shit.
Okay, I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that.
Fucking all right. Spread, Cheetos and tuna fish and shit. No, I'm good with all that shit.
So, back to Florence and Normandy. You remember when they beat up Reginald Denny?
Yeah, I was right there and they whooped Reginald Denny. Homie football and Kiki snatched him out the truck.
Talk about it.
I was right there taping this shit. And,
not taping it.
It was kind of funny because during the riots, I was leaving my house because I lived on 74 down at the time. And I was fucking with my car, and I got in my car and jumped in it and went to the corner, and I couldn't get off the block because the street traffic was so bagged up and shit. So I went home, parked my car, and I walked. And I walked back to Florence and Normandy. When I got back to Florence and Normandy, it was a mess. Niggas was just snatching niggas out of cars. So I got ready to snatch a motherfucker out of the car. And the first car
follow suit, huh?
Follow suit. It was a white boy in a Mustang. I still remember. He looked like a little square motherfucker, and I was finna tear him up. I went up to the car and I ran up on him and I looked in the window finna snatch him out and he had a big ass pistol down and blew my head off. I think he was a police officer on his way to work going down Florence headed towards 77.
Okay.
And he was on his way to work when all this shit going on. He busted a U-turn. I just happened to get in the U-turn and then he got my head blown off. But Because Reginald Denny was getting snatched out a couple minutes later.
Oh, okay.
A couple minutes later. Just a little after this shit. Because when he got snatched out, the whole street got blocked off. And niggas started going the other way and shit. They knew they didn't want to come down Florence.
It
was over with.
Yeah,
Police left Florence and shit.
Police they left.
Took off. The helicopter came to the set, told the police officers to get out of the area. It is too dangerous. And the police officers left other police officers and cameramen and all. They got the fuck up out of here. Left everybody. They left. Left their own homies and shit. And we tore their asses up too.
So what stopped it?
What stopped the riots was a whole lot of military. We all went to bed the night of the riots and woke up that morning, and we all had National Guard tanks sitting in front of our house. Had about 5,000 National Guard tanks. Every 6 houses had a tank in front of it with 4 soldiers on it. That's what slowed shit down. So we went to bed with 12 gauge shotguns and 38s and 9mm, and the National Guards pulled up with M16s and shit and hand grenades, and so we had to go sit down a little bit.
And what year was this?
I think this was 91, 92. I can't even remember what year the riots were. No, I was only like 23, 24 or some shit.
Yeah, I was little.
Yeah.
Little.
Man.
That is amazing, though. Do you feel like that's possible to happen again, a riot as such? Well, what's going on?
It could, but you got to have the right niggas to start a riot. And the riot wasn't about Reginald Denny. Everybody thought it was about Rodney King and Reginald Denny, all that shit. It was over the homie Shondell. The police handled Shondell, one of the homeboys, in the wrong way, throwing him over the fence, handcuffed, and didn't give a fuck, and all this shit, and all this woo wow. And the homies was like, man, y'all niggas mishandling the homie. And they was like, man, fuck y'all. That's what the police telling us. And fuck you. Fuck you back and forth a couple times, and somebody threw a hammer at the police, and it's all on a hammer.
What?
And it kicked off. That's what kicked off the riot. It wasn't no Rodney King and getting beat up and all that shit. It was 71st and Normandy, and the homie getting mishandled and shit. And all the other homies followed pursuit. And everybody that was down with us came through. And niggas wasn't down with us, became down with us, and this whole riot got started.
Okay. Is gangbanging the same as when it started for you?
That's not the same. It don't mean shit. No, back then it kind of meant something. Now it don't even mean shit. Niggas ain't in it for the love. We was in it then for the love because you lived over here and you had to gangbang. It wasn't just that you want to be doing something and shit. You go get a fucking job. You want to do something, but we did it because we had to. We didn't have no choice. We had to come home and we had to go to sleep and wake up. And this is what we had to deal with. Niggas like Tookie and other niggas getting down and shit. And this is what we had to deal with.
Do you have a hero?
My heroes, Big Hucklebuck, Sidewinder, Big Crazy D, Monster, and Hunchy, the niggas that put me on the set.
I love how when I ask other people this, they say something else. And you literally said some fellow gang members. I love that.
Yeah,
I swear to God, I love that.
Niggas are soldiers. Yeah. Yes,
okay.
man. Yes, man.
That's what's up. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. Are you proud of yourself?
Yeah, I'm proud of myself.
What makes a man a man?
Take care of his family and get some money. Take care of his family and get some money. That's all he got to do. Take care of his family and get some money. And he being a man. He ain't fucking over nobody else, stealing and robbing and shit. He doing good. He doing real good.
If you can change anything about yourself, would you? What would it be?
I wouldn't change nothing. I'm happy with how it turned out. It wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad.
Do you have any friends or homies that don't gangbang, didn't gangbang?
All my homies gangbang.
All of them.
All of them. All of them.
The men, the women.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them gangbang.
That is what's up.
All of them. All of them.
Are you still an active member?
Yeah, till the day I die.
What?
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself a stereotype?
I don't even know what I'm trying to think what the fuck a stereotype mean. Oh shit, you got me all. Stereotype. What's a stereotype? You got me mad. I ain't got my math or English and education to fail.
Not the education that felt. Probably a product of your environment.
Oh yeah, definitely stereotype. Yeah, that's what it was. Where we grew up at.
Right. That was the influence.
So dope. That was the influence. And if you did that, you was doing good. And you took care of your family, you was doing good. Because you eventually graduated from running the streets with guns every day to maybe once a week and shit.
Oh, okay.
And, you graduated from selling dope all day to getting a job, going to work, coming home, getting your kids some medical benefits and shit.
It is a maturity aspect to it.
So you can't just, gang bang forever. You're not in jail, you should be getting some money. You're sitting in jail, it's a little different. You can't do nothing but throw the set up and keep ripping and running, acting a fool.
But see, that's what I'm saying. So as you growing older trying to work, how would you not incorporate the gang banging?
When I worked, I still gang bang. I used to bring the shit home, bring it to work with me. It's just part of my life, 24/7. Like a preacher. Preacher always represents the church. Whatever he's doing, he's related to God. Whatever I was doing, I was related to the gang. Whatever I was doing, it was gang related first. Couldn't go over here, couldn't go over there. It was gang related first. Gang came first.
Do you still feel like you can't go here, can't go there?
Not that I can't, just sometimes I may not want to go put up with the shit I may have to go through. Because a lot of niggas like to still fight and shoot, and I don't like to run from shit. So if I go somewhere, I'm going to be a part of the shit. So I like to just stay in my own territory
just
if I
think
can.
Before you act.
Because if I go somewhere and somebody tell me fuck me, I'm going to tell them fuck you back. And whatever happened, going to kick off and shit. So I'd rather be at home chilling.
Is anybody off limits in the gang world?
Is anybody off limits?
Mm-hmm.
No, anybody's touchable.
Okay.
Anybody's touchable. From the biggest to the littlest.
Male or female?
Male, female, anybody's invincible. Niggas, mama, daddy, brother, sister, anybody.
How you feel about the female gang members?
It is what it is. Sometimes girls get turned out. One girl and 3 or 4 brothers and shit, she don't have no choice. She was just in and shit. Some of them get the wrong nigga and they get involved with the wrong nigga and the shit is cute, getting his hair braided and all that shit and pressing his hair and then it's just some shit that happened. But I'm not mad at them though. They get turned out like we get turned out.
But what role does she play?
The mama role, the cooking role, the cleaning nigga up role, the hiding and lying for a nigga, that type of shit.
The hiding and lying. So you hold the gun, you hide the dope.
Right, you ride the pistol in the purse to get out and run, act a fool, whatever. Whatever you got to do, that's what the female was doing back in the day.
Okay, back in the day.
Back in the day, what the niggas couldn't get away with.
Whether she had kids or not.
Whether she had kids or not, she was what you said. She was doing gangster shit.
Oh, that's considered gangster.
Gangster.
All right. I like that. So, we started just talking and jumping in it. I don't know if you anonymous or what. Is you letting the people know who you are?
Baby Huck, West Side Detroit gangster.
What? Let them know. Do you have a message for the youth?
Just stay down and quit tripping over small shit. And just stay down with each other. You guys don't have to go through what we went through. You niggas' mamas and shit didn't get killed. Brothers and families didn't get killed. You niggas ain't got no business out here doing this shit.
Some have, though.
Just ones that have a reason, but it's a lot of them out here just because it looks pretty and shit. You know what I mean?
True.
They think the tattoos look good and shit, but they not really down with the shit. They go to jail, they tell.
True.
Not really down with it and shit.
They can't handle quarantine right now.
They can't do that. Niggas in there fighting. Some niggas don't like to fight, but they talk shit, but they don't like to fight.
Exactly.
So that two and two don't go together. Talking shit and you can't fight.
Is this your first interview?
I did a couple interviews after the riots. I did a couple of interviews. I did one with Ted Koppel on Nightline.
What?
Me, Lil Monster, Bones, the one that Suge Knight ran over and shit.
Yeah.
And his cousin name Capone from Marvin Gangsters, and we did a little interview on Florence and Norman. We did a couple with Ted Koppel on Nightline and shit. 60 Minutes, whatever that shit was called. It was big then. It was 30 years ago and shit.
Right, it's still relevant.
It's still relevant. It's still Riots and shit. It's still history. Make the wrong niggas mad. We get together. We can start another one though.
Right. Depending on who listening,
apart. Keep us separated because we get together with some 800 and shit. And shit happened. Yeah, we kick up some dust like a motherfucker for
What did you want to be when you was little?
Professional ball player.
Football, basketball.
Anything. Just ball, play ball. Washington High School, the Valley, Chatsworth. Just ball. Anything ball related, I was playing ball. And then that gang banging was so fun and interesting and shit. I was doing both of them, but I had cancer when I was young, so I had surgeries and biopsies and liver biopsies, bone marrows and all that shit operations. So
young,
when I was 15, 16, 14, I was having chemotherapy and radiation treatment and shit. So they kept me away from playing ball. So it kept me just in school, just hanging out with the homies and shit.
Right.
Just hanging out.
Wow. Baby Huckabuck. That was interesting.
Yes, man.
You low-key a celebrity. I didn't even realize I had somebody in here like that, you know?
Man.
So, again, OG, triple OG, baby Huck from A-Tray Gangsters. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Won't you guys have a nice day and stay away from that coronavirus?
Right, it's 2020, y'all.
Man.
It's your girl, Lady Scrap from the Westside Fruits. Follow up, subscribe, comment, like, share. It ain't gonna hurt you, you know. Let me know how you feel about this. You got some more questions about the riots? You remember the riots? You don't know what they was? You trying to start one? Let me know. Drop a comment, pass this around, let people hear it.